Left Eye E.G.O here with another announcement. Join me, the Shiro, and Stuntman live May 24th, Friday through Sunday, May 26th at the George R. Brown Convention Center for Comic Palooza 2024. Now, if you don't know what that is, it is the largest anime, comic, and movie convention in the state of Texas. There will be cosplays, there will be custom cars, and did I mention there will be celebrities? We're talking John Cena, the cast of Charmed, Holly Marie Combs, Shannon Doherty, and Rose McGowan, not to mention the cast of Back to the Future. We're talking Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and even James Tolkien. And we've also got, by special delivery, the man known as Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund. So get your tickets for, again, May 24th through May 26th at the George R. Brown Convention Center in Houston, Texas. I need you all's help, though. I need you guys to like this video, share this video with the hashtags ComicPalooza and hashtag CP2024. But for now, let's get back to the video. Welcome, beautiful people. It is I, the dog whose door is always open. Gandalf without the gray or the white, because I'm all black. Jordan LaForge, captain this enterprise I am. Left Eye E.G.O, that will never get old. And I am joined by the painting on the canvas of my life, the Shiro. How do you like that intro?
That was nice.
Okay.
I was wondering if you were going to give me a special intro.
You, with your attitude, you were this close and I get it.
My attitude?
Yes. You look so beautiful, so I look past it. But I mean, it was this. It was do or die. I mean, me being the benevolent soul that I am. I allowed it. Well, guys, welcome back to another movie review with me and the Shiro. Oh, yeah. Shouts out to Cannoli Squad. Yes, so we actually saw a movie we've been waiting on for a few months, actually, on this one. Because you saw it back in February and you said you wanted to see it. So March, April's a few months.
It was months? That's
yes.
2 months, a couple of months.
Months.
I can math.
Okay. Anyway. We've been waiting for this for more than 1 month. Is that better?
Sure.
Thank you. We finally got to see Abigail this past weekend, and it was a lot of fun. So we will be going ahead and giving you guys some like a plot summary and a general overview of the movie while getting into the E.G.O statistics of the casting, plot, pacing, and kind of like the gore factor on this one.
Okay.
It's a horror or a gore factor on that one. We don't do the 1 to 5 star crap over here. We do 1 to 5 E.G.Os. So with that, first of all, honey, what were your general thoughts going into the movie? Because we'll get to what we saw when we got to it. But
my general thoughts was that it was a vampire movie, so I enjoyed that. I thought it was going to be a little bit scary on the scarier side, in a sense that this little girl would be stalking her prey. That's what the trailer made it feel like. And I thought it would just be a good take on a vampire movie because, you know, she had the, I guess, the classic sort of vampire mouth. It wasn't the pretty.
There's Nosferatu mouth.
Okay, yeah. So that's how I was excited to see it.
Well, I will say I thought I was going to just go in there and shut my brain off.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting an actual story.
Oh.
More or less.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and give you the quick IMDb overview. All right. For Abigail, it says, after a group of criminals kidnap the ballerina daughter of a powerful underworld figure, they retreat to an isolated mansion, unaware that they are locked inside with no normal little girl. Okay, that's almost how you have to do a movie voice right there. Just
I know,
starters.
I rolled my eyes as you were doing it. It's
good.
fine.
Just take some hints here, okay? Anyway, as far as the casting, we had Melissa Badana as Joey, the medic. Dan Stevens played Frank, the douchebag.
Oh, wow. They look very different.
Very different, yes. Alicia Ware was Abigail. So you want to see what that looks like? Yeah, right there.
Wow. Okay.
She's actually 15.
What?
Yeah.
She is tiny.
Yes. William Catlett played Rickles, the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Catherine Newton played Sammy the hacker. Kevin Durand played Peter.
I liked him. Yeah.
Angus Cloud, R.I.P., played Dean.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
I think he was on Euphoria, well, the HBO show. Yeah. And Giancarlo Esposito played Lambert, and Matthew Good played the father at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Quick and then submission.
Yeah.
So, honey, what do you give the casting from what you've seen here?
I mean, I don't know most of the players. So I like the Kevin Durand character. I think that was clearly a good fit. Melissa Barrera did great as Joey for the character that she needed to play. Mm-hmm. Catherine Newton, I get maybe why they chose her for the role based on her storyline of who she was. And I don't know. I mean, I'd have to say 4. There isn't anybody there that I thought was terrible except maybe the dad, Matthew Good. Like, I don't know. He didn't fit the bill for me.
I gotcha. I will go 3.5 because the only people I really care about were Abigail and Frank.
Okay.
They're the ones that make me feel something. Frank was a douchebag the entire movie, and yes. I could not stand him.
He was.
Joey, I didn't care about at all.
Really?
Without the emotional anchor, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know that they're saying she's... I will say this. The one thing that made sense when we watched Immaculate was that the woman that used to be kind of like a prostitute that became a nun could read people.
Yeah.
Right. Joey, they say, is the person that could read people, but they don't qualify it.
Yeah, well, she was in the military.
Right, but she
became a junkie.
Right, I know, but I'm just like...
Yeah, they don't really... I mean, you're right, I guess.
They don't. If she were ex-Army intelligence that was a junkie, okay, cool, I get that.
Yeah.
But it's like, you can read people, and it's like, but where do you get that from?
Mm-hmm.
If you told me she turned tricks or something like that, or had to deal with...
Like, some street smarts where she did have to read.
Right, they didn't qualify it. So, like, outside of your son, I don't care about you. Mm-hmm. Frank, I despised. But Frank made me despise him in the way that he acted. Even though he was... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but didn't she have to, like, disappear or something from everyone she knew?
They give you, and they tell you that the reason why in the movie, though. That's what I'm saying. But otherwise, like, I don't care about you. I only care about
It's a reach for sure to be like, oh, that's why she can read people.
You know. Yeah. Kevin Durand was actually fun as a character to watch. He usually plays the demented scientist.
Oh, really?
He got jacked for this role, yes.
I thought he was naturally big like that. No. I just recall him being big.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job. He was the fun, dumb guy. The dumb muscle, which I do not see for him. But overall, I'll get about 3.5 on there.
Yeah.
As far as the plot, my love, what do you give the plot?
I was okay with the plot, and then there came a point where I was like, why did we just go through all of this?
I know what you're talking about.
So I have to say a 3 on the plot, in a sense that, like, it made sense, some of it, right? They're a band of
thieves,
or, you know, if you will, they don't use their names so that no one can turn on each other if they get caught. Kind of an interesting take on kidnappings. I liked that aspect. I like that they let you know who every character was kind of up front.
They did.
Yeah. And I did like them trying to figure out what exactly is going on. Like, but then there was this point at the end, and they were trying to do something, and I kind of get it, right? You got to put a little twisty in there. But when they did it was like, your logistics are off. The way you plan this is so stupid.
That's fair.
So I give it a 3.
I will say the plot was a 3 that went to a 4 by the end of the second act.
Really?
When they reintroduced the character, yes. That's why I was like, okay, cool.
Because like after you kind of really figured out who they were, or I'm confused.
There's that part, and then there's the part where they escape and they don't know how they got to escape, and they show you the person that's responsible for their escape.
Yeah.
And for me, that's like, okay, that's cool. I get it, because at that point you figure out why they're really there. And the name, and in the name that
part was good.
And in the name where they give them before he leaves, like it lets you know, like if you're not thinking about it, you're just like, oh, he just gave him these random names, like, oh, I get it. This has happened before.
Yeah.
So I mean, you guys can tell that in the previews, Abigail is not new to this. She is a gangster with it. So there is a scene where I believe the hacker Sammy is they're looking for her, and I think Sammy, does she fall through the floor into the pool?
Into the pool.
You didn't see that?
Oh yeah, that was in the beginning.
Yeah. So when they're trying to figure out like about the house and what's going on with it and where Abigail is, I think Sammy either falls to the floor or something, but she falls, and lands in the pool. Only the pool doesn't have water in it. It's bodies.
Bodies and gunk.
It was disgusting, and it was great. And so that's what kind of like pushes it to like a 3 to start from that point on.
Oh, okay.
But then when there's a secret save in the movie, and they find out like, hey, why'd you save us? And then they explain it like, oh, this is a 4 now. I like this. Yeah. I like the story and the kind of the flip on it. And you kind of wind up figuring out, who am I cheering for? which you like, because in the movie it's like, well, hey, Abigail has reasons for doing this, but they have a reason to escape. So it kind of was like, I'm double dutching on my alliances, kind of like that. So I will give it a 4 based on that.
I mean, it's so funny because mine was opposite. It was a 4 until that one part where they figure out like who kind of orchestrated some of this. Mm-hmm. And then for me, I was like, dang it, really, guys? I put it down to a 3.
We'll let y'all decide if y'all want to see it. Let us know. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, especially for the plot, they do explain why everyone's there. One by one.
You're not guessing, like, why is she mad? Why is she here? Like, you're really not guessing, which is nice.
They tell you specifically why each one of them is there and the reason why. And everyone has a reason for being there, which I appreciate. It wasn't just random.
Yeah.
I like that. So as far as the pacing, my love, what would you give the pacing on there for this one?
Oh, I would say like 4.5. I don't think I was ever sort of bored or like, okay, get on with it now. Yeah. There's only like one thing for me on the pacing where they did a little bit of filler with some of the dancing stuff.
I kind of like that.
Halfway through, I was like, okay, I'm over the dancing. Stop dancing.
It's because she's extremely bored.
I understand.
That's why I liked
it. I was like, okay, I'm good with the dancing. I get it.
They were playing all the Black Swan. Like whenever she would go chase him, it would just be this classical music over straight up gore and stalking. It was awesome. But that's what I appreciate about it. I'm going to give it a 4 for the pacing, simply because they broke up what would be very monotonous scenes, like going through the house and looking at stuff, with well-timed humor.
They did.
They did.
I appreciate that a lot. And it wasn't like, oh, I just need to put humor here. It was, like you said, well-timed.
It was well-timed and really good reactionary humor. So by the time you're looking at something like, what is, you want to ask? They'll be like, what is that? And then they'll laugh at something. Mm-hmm. Or I'll be something like, are you dumb? Go over there. Okay. Yeah. he would just laugh. Kevin Durant was hilarious for being the dumb muscle. It was actually really good.
But they did it almost like you said, whatever you would be thinking in real life, kind of, they let that play out for humor. So.
Right. So I really appreciate them for going that route, or else it could have been a 2. Mm. If they wanted to play it really close and not tell us anything till the very end, it could have really wound up being a 2. Yeah. I will say they avoided that, which was fantastic also. All right, so the last one, the Gore Factor. Honey, what are you giving the Gore Factor on this one?
I have to say a 5. There was lots of blood. Lots of blood.
A lot.
Body parts. the way that they did some of the when vampires kind of get hit by sun or I won't give away because not all the things that you've heard over the past pertain, but like the way they did some of that was very gory and kind of some of it unexpected.
Yes.
So I thought that was really cool, and they didn't spare a drop of blood.
They did not, actually. I will say, first of all, shout out to the props department for using the Nosferatu teeth. I think that kind of
was cool.
It set the tone. It wasn't these cutesy little, I bite you, you bite me, hey, drink this, and they just start shaking in like, oh, now I'm a vampire. No. When someone first gets turned, the first thing they do is sit there and just projectile vomit all of their own blood. And the thing is, it's not like it's clean either.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. I mean, at the end of it, you do this. I have a tiered system when something is gory to me. There's this is what gore for 3 egos is this. Gore for 4 is a 5 for ego is I did that at least 3 times. So I'm about to say the gore factor was a 5 for me, because to Shiro's credit, anytime the sun hits a vampire, it's not like this sizzle, I'm burning, I'm melting. It was a gunshot. So if someone's arm stuck out where the sun was, you hear a boom and the arm is gone. And they have to run back and retreat to let it heal. It was actually really cool. I haven't seen explosions.
I mean, you see people kind of like burst from inside out before, but like, I mean, they did show a little smoldering from peaks of the sun, like, but if there was direct sunlight, it was this big to do.
Honestly, I don't know what the release schedule for like this was, but I would have almost released this on Halloween weekend.
Yeah, it might have been good. Yeah.
I'm not saying it would have been so much better. I'm just saying the timing would have been great. I think it's going to be a Halloween rotation movie.
Okay.
In that monster department, because it was actually pretty good.
Oh, I can see tons of little girls dressing up like her.
Exactly. Although, hey, look, House E.G.O, we don't play that. You do one of these things, you're getting roundhoused. Okay. I know it'll be on
she
camera.
did this, honey.
You ain't even getting that far. I'm gonna ask what you're doing. If you hold it, roundhouse.
She's ready.
Okay, you ready for a roundhouse? I want my trick or treat. You just got it. For the Shiro and E.G.O, we're out.